Hey guys, it's Tajir. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing my makeup with my favorite makeup products I guess in my collection. This was kind of like a video that I seen, like, I mean, you guys know, doing like favorite makeup products, whatever, but like keep in mind that like if I don't have a product, then it can't be my favorite, if that makes sense. So this is just out of my collection. I have a very limited collection. Like I have a big collection, but it's limited, if that makes sense. So like I haven't tried everything that's out there and popular, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, so I guess if you guys want to see me do my makeup with my favorite products in my collection, then just keep on watching. So I already did my eyebrows, because if you're new here, I say in every one of my videos, I don't like the way I mean, actually they look kind of fire today, but I don't have any name brand products or anything, and maybe that's why I don't be liking them, but like liking my eyebrows. But so I did them off camera. So for my concealer, my favorite concealer in my collection as of like what I have right now is my, wait, okay, so hold on, backtrack a little bit. I did conceal my eyebrows, and my favorite concealer that I use to conceal my eyebrows is the NYX Full Coverage Concealer in the shade, I trip over my words a lot, so I'm gonna be cutting it out because I want y'all to see the real deal, so I'm just gonna leave it in. The NYX Full Coverage Concealer in the shade CJ05, or like medium. So that's what I use to conceal my brows. But for like my face, I mean, I'll get to that part. Before concealing my eyes, I like to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer in the shade C10. So this is fire. I love this concealer. I feel like it's very nice and like, oh my god, I'm running out anymore, but it's very nice and pigmented for my eyeshadow. And I also feel like it's very inexpensive, because y'all know me, I love inexpensive, but I feel like it's kind of like high quality for how inexpensive it is. And I honestly would say that it's a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. I can't talk, guys. A dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. The only difference is Tarte Shape Tape is a little bit thicker, and this isn't as thick. That may be a good thing for, I mean, I don't mind it because it makes it feel not as heavy. Not that Tarte Shape Tape is heavy, but like this is just like lighter. That could be a good thing for some people and a bad thing for some people, but just keep that in mind. I definitely would say that this is a dupe for that though. So after I did that, I literally have so many palettes in my collection. I was going back and forth of like which one is my favorite. I don't necessarily have a favorite palette, but this year, actually I've been using a palette recently that like is one that I really like. But thinking back on like this year and like products either that I got this year or that I had in my collection that I've been using, I'm like, wow, I love this palette since like the first time I used it. It is this Beauty Bay EYN 42 Bright palette. I honestly love this palette so much. I dug my finger, it fell, and I dug my finger in this purple one by accident, but I honestly kind of want to get the all matte one because the shimmer colors are beautiful, and I love that I got this palette with the shimmer ones in it as well. But I love this palette so much that I wish that I had like the all matte one. So that is the palette that is my favorite in my collection for 2020. I mean, I know 2020 isn't over yet. We still have, unfortunately 2020 isn't over yet. We still have like a month, but you know, even though it is like cold and stuff, I just want to bring some brightness into my life. So I'm wearing yellow, so I kind of think I'm gonna do like a yellow orange bright half cut crease. I feel like I haven't done a half cut crease in a grip. So first I'm going to take Hello Sunshine. I'm gonna dip into that, and I'm just gonna start working that into the crease. So now that I have that yellow in the crease, you can't really see it that much on camera, but I go back and forth with different colors. So after I go in with the next color, I'll go back with this yellow and like blend everything out. So now I'm going to go in with Heat Wave and put that into the crease, but lower than that shade. I just zoomed it in a little bit, not a little bit, a good amount, just because we are working on the eyes. And sometimes when I'm watching like makeup tutorials and I'm like, I'm guilty of this sometimes too, but like the person is just like the camera angle is just really far out when they're working on the eyes and you can't see anything. I like get frustrated. So yeah, I was like, let me just zoom in a little bit, make people happy. So now I'm going to go in with Heat Wave and Cherry Aid. It's the Heat Wave is the orange color and Cherry Aid is the red color next to it, just to darken this up some more and add like some more color. Okay, now I'm gonna dip into Heat Wave and a little bit of Threat just to like darken it up, and I'm gonna put it right in the crease, just so when you cut that crease, I feel like when you have like a dark shade above the crease and you cut it, it just makes this like beautiful, like sharp, blended out look that I am like obsessed with. So I am going to do that. And I used to kind of be like nervous to cut my crease with like a concealer with a wand because I thought it was like too liquidy and I was like nervous, but you really just have to have like control. So I am going to use the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 16. So I'm gonna be honest, these are both my favorite like concealers that I like. I like this one a little bit better just because I do feel like even though it's not super thick, it is thicker than this one. And yeah, this one is just like a little bit more, the Juvia's Place one is just a little bit more runnier, and the Makeup Revolution one is just a little bit more thicker. So I like both of these and they're both comparable, but the Makeup Revolution one is better. But since I'm running out of that, in my opinion, okay, it's not better, I prefer it. But I still like this concealer. And since I'm running out of the Makeup Revolution one, I'm going to cut my crease with the Juvia's Place one. If you're cutting your crease with a more liquidy concealer opposed to like a pot concealer, which this one would be really nice to cut your crease with as well. It's not light enough for my liking. Like I would like this to be like this shade. Like you see how like they're like a little bit different. Like this is too skin tone for my liking for cutting my crease, but this would also be good because it's like thick. So I cut my crease and I set it with the white in the palette that I've been using, and I also just blended out the edges with like all the colors that I was using in my crease put together. So now I'm going to do a thick liner but without a wing, just to like line the eye. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Liner in the shade Blackest Black, and it's like this. I am only really good at using gel liner. I'm not good at using liquid liner, and I'm not really good at using like pencil or anything like that. So I usually just stick with a good old gel, and this is actually one of my favorites. So I think Elf used to have one that I really liked, but I don't think they make it anymore. So basically what I did is I lined my eye, but then I made it like bigger, kind of like if I was doing a wing. You know how like when you do a wing, it gets like, it starts off bigger, but then once you get in the inner corner, it gets smaller. That's what I did because I really like the look of that when you like don't have any wing liner. But you see how you can still kind of see the blunt ending of that. We're going to take a black eyeshadow and just blend it out even more, just so everything blends together smoothly. But first I'm going to do my other eyeliner. But you see how it just like brings everything together and you don't have that wing, but you still have that sharp black liner. I just feel like it completes the look. I actually put my lashes on last, so I'm just going to show you guys. This is actually probably going to be surprising to you guys. Actually, maybe not, because y'all know I'm kind of like cheap on a budget. I was looking for a budget, but I'm going to show you guys since it's like zoomed in so you guys can see them. My lashes that I have been in love with are actually lashes that I got from Amazon, and I'll link them down below because it comes with an 8-pack of these beautiful like fluffy 44 milliliter beautiful lashes, and I love these so much. So after I do my foundation and everything, these are the lashes that I'm going to be putting on. Just in case, I'm going to put the link down below, but this is like what the pack looks like that it comes in, and you just get 8. I will be honest, it's a little bit confusing that the way that they're set up, because it's like which lashes do you pick, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same, but you just pretty much find ones that look exactly the same and match them together. But I love these. The only thing is the band is pretty thick, not super thick, but if you don't like thick bands, I actually prefer a little bit thicker band. Not a little, like not the super thin ones, because I feel like they're very hard to put on and they're very like movie and jiggly, if that makes sense. But I like ones that are like you can move and stuff, not the ones that like feel like thick and like poke your eye. But yeah, these are my lashes that I have been super into this year. I will link it down below. Like I said, there's an 8-pack of lashes and I think it was like $8. So don't sleep on lashes from Amazon. You just have to try to find ones that look very like nice and like fluffy. You don't want to find ones that like look like plastic. I mean, unless that's your thing. But these are what the lashes look like. I don't know if you guys know, I think I might have said it in another video before, but I do my eyebrows first and stuff. But before I do my eyebrows, I'll spray some MAC Prep and Prime, which I love this, to give the skin like some hydration, just so that'll like dry and everything. I don't like to spray it after I do my brows and stuff because I feel like it makes my brows like move around and stuff. And like I said, my brows are like an anomaly. I don't even know myself. But so now we're gonna move on to like primers. So I said this in another video, I say this all the time because I truly do love these primers. So I use MAC Fix Plus. Sometimes I'll also use the Makeup Revolution Aqua Priming Base. It just depends. This is kind of running out, so I've been using the MAC one. And then I'll take the Makeup Revolution Glass Skin Primer, which is very hydrating and dewy. It does kind of have a little bit of an oily feeling, so if you don't like that, then I definitely wouldn't recommend this. But it doesn't feel oily after you put on like foundation. Everything is just like on your fingers and when you're applying it. But so then I'll put on this, do like 1.5 pumps. It kind of just depends on how I'm feeling that day, depending on like how many pumps I do. So there's that. And then I'll take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So after that, we're gonna move on to foundation. So I was going back and forth trying to decide which foundation was like my fave. I like a lot, like mostly all of the foundations in my collection, but I settled on the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation in the shade 420. Now I'm not gonna lie, this one is a little bit red on me, but then like after I put it on, I feel like it kind of like settles into my face. Maybe after I put on like my concealer and stuff, it kind of just like becomes my color. But I really like how full coverage this foundation is, and I am going to actually try to use less than I normally do when I first started, because when I first got this foundation, I like went ham because I was so used to getting like drugstore foundations and putting on a whole bunch to make it full coverage. And this is super thick and kind of like matte in a way, so that's why also these primers are really good for like hydration and stuff. But you want to like not use too much because it can look very cakey. So now I'm actually going to use a Juvia's Place concealer because I actually never used these two together, and I want to see how good they work together. I mean, they are in the same line, so everything should blend seamlessly. Actually, but first I'm gonna take some, it's actually like a contour stick. I mean, it's a match stick, but I think it's technically for like contour and stuff. I call it like cream bronzing because it just like is bringing some color back into my face. It's not necessarily like contouring it. So I am gonna take Fenty Beauty match stick in the shade Truffle. I'm going to take one of my favorite powders, which is the Makeup Revolution Luxury Powder in the shade Banana. Keep in mind I haven't used that many other powders, but this one is still my fave. Okay, so now my favorite blush has been the Tarte Amazon Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. I love this blush so much. I feel like I say this all the time, but I love this blush so much. I used to not like blush, which I also say all the time, but now I'm like in love with blush. Like, I'll put so much on. So I put on those lashes that I was talking about earlier. So now I'm gonna move on to lips because off camera, like, everything's going wrong. Like, I'm dropping stuff. It's like I want to get this video done. So for my go-to like nude ombre lip, I use NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the shade Downtown Beauty, and I take this and I line my lips with this. You could leave it like this because actually this looks really pretty with a brown lip, but I'm gonna show you guys how I do my ombre lip. So then after I put on that, and you have to let it dry, that's like a big part of it. And then I'm just gonna take a pencil brush or a flat brush. Honestly, any brush will work, any small brush. I'm just gonna take some of that Juvia's Place concealer, or any light concealer that you have. I did a Halloween look, the angel one. It was like the 3 looks in one or whatever, and I did this lip with white in the middle, and it actually was fire. So if you want it to be like a little bit more light, you can use white, but right now I'm just gonna use concealer, and I'm just gonna put this in the center of my lips. And that's basically how I do like my ombre lip. I just think it's really cute. I don't know why I like have been in love with this like lip combination recently, but like it's my baby. Okay, so this is pretty much the finished look. I feel like it looks really good, like using all my favorite products together. Sometimes I don't always use like all of the products together. Obviously I'll use different products, like if I use a different concealer, or if I use a different like eyeshadow palette, or if I use a different foundation. But like just going in my collection and picking like things that I really liked the most, like I pretty much like all of my things. Like if like foundations, like I like all my foundations, but if I had to pick one, this is the one I would pick and stuff. And I think it looks really nice, and I really like the eyeshadow. Oh, and these are the lashes. Did I already say that? So yeah, this is the finished look of me using all my favorite products in my collection. Hopefully next year I'll be able to do like this video again, but it'll be cool if it's like a bunch of different products and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try to like get different products and stuff to try out next year. That's like my plan. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on my post notifications to be notified every time that I upload, and I hope I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. What is your favorite part of the makeup process? Also, what is your favorite makeup product? It could be any makeup product, eyeshadow, lips, foundation. I just want to know. And also, since you're listening to me keep talking after I already said bye, watch another video because you're still here.